Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, December 5th, 2011. It's 10:05 a.m. Had a great yoga session this morning. A little 11-step action, some meditation, gaining some conscious contact with my higher power, if you will. It's a chilly Monday morning here in McAllen, Texas. So let's get into it. Okay, this is a video in attempt to explain further the dollar revolution and I guess my idea, or one of my ideas for Occupy McAllen, our ideas, I guess. It's all a collective here. Really, none of us can come up with any ideas without each other, right? It all depends on our unity, if you will, or our ability to share ideas with each other. So, let's keep it simple here. Occupy McAllen currently has $184 in its treasury. These have been through voluntary contributions from our past few events. And some of that is earmarked. I think $20 were specified by an individual for specific like flyer use and whatnot. So anyhow, let's keep it simple. What I am proposing is how to use $100 from our funds. And what I'm proposing is that for our next, not maybe our next event, but for an event we have in 2012, I think it's too soon to pull it off by the end of the year. So let's say somewhere within the first quarter of 2012, January, February, March, we have an event where we plan on spending $100, but we're not going to spend it externally. What we're going to do is we're going to create a marketplace so everyone gets to take part in this. We're going to create an own marketplace. That's an Occupy McAllen marketplace. And this own marketplace is going to be made up of ideally 100 people providing 100 services for, can you guess it? For the low price of $1. So here I have one that I put a little heart on, calling this a heart buck. This is from Joe Boswell here, an RGV local buck, if you will. Joe will repair your bike for $1, provided you supply the parts, whatever needs to be repaired, and he'll do the labor for $1. I will do yoga for $1. But let's contextualize this. So at this event we have for Occupy McAllen, we have all these roles set up. I have some examples. So for whoever would do the videotaping, they'd get $1. Whoever would be, or maybe not do the videotaping, but be responsible, right? So whoever wants to take responsibility for video, that's $1. Whoever wants to take responsibility for photos, that's $1. Whoever wants to take responsibility for the live streaming, that's $1. And then maybe also for uploading all this information, they get $1. Okay, just the responsibility. So they can probably delegate out however they see fit, but they are taking responsibility for providing this service. So depending on how you want to look at it, they're providing a service, we're giving them $1, or we're getting a service and we're providing them $1. But the idea being that human beings, we all used to barter things, and then someone came along and said, hey, wait a minute, it gets too confusing, all this bartering. How do we denominate, what's worth, what the relative worth of things are? And that's where currency came into place, right? That's where money came into place. So what we're doing is taking 100 people, right, and $100, exchanging 100 services, right? And I think if we do this with enough time, with enough advanced planning, let's say, for example, we decide that we want to have some flyers put out. Now, personally, and I think I told Marco this, I think we're in the digital age. I don't think we really need flyers. I think environmentally it kind of creates a big headache. And this is from someone who, in the union organizing biz, I probably wasted, reams and reams, a whole forest worth of trees. So, you know, I'm not really one to speak, so what's it called, unhypocritically about this, but I'm trying to evolve things. So, anyways, let's say we want to do these flyers, right? This person's going to get $1 for the flyers, but of course, flyers cost more than $1. So I think whoever wants to do it, let's say Marco, he could propose to the group, here are the flyers, right? Here's the cost, and then I think we would vote based on what he submits. And so this should be a full proposal, right? Like for $1, I'm going to take responsibility for the flyers. I've gone to Copy Zone or some local business. They've given me this estimate for this much flyers. And then I could post on our organizers group, here's a proposal, have people vote on it. But the key being then that we should, I think, be willing to raise money specifically for those flyers. So if people say, hey, yeah, I want to see, 200 flyers created, they should be willing to put money towards that. In my case, I may not put any money towards it because I don't think we need flyers. But that's just an individual opinion. Everyone is entitled to how they want to see the movement grow. And I think in that way, the market, our own market, is deciding, do we want flyers, do we want video, do we want both, for example. So, assuming this event goes well, right, at the end of the event, we would have 100 ohm bucks in circulation, right? 100 occupiers here in McAllen would all have these ohm bucks. We got the serial numbers down, so there's no counterfeiting. You can't create them out of thin air. So now we have a fixed amount of money, $100, and people can start exchanging services amongst each other. So, for example, someone out there who got $1 for signing people up at our next event, if they want to have yoga at their house, they call me up, I come over, they give me an ohm buck, and I'll accept that. On the other hand, there may be someone out there who didn't take part in any of this, didn't get an ohm buck, and now they're wondering, man, I'd really like to have, Rahul over for some personal yoga, or I'd like to have, Marco over, or Marco probably feels like I'm picking on him, but whoever else is out there with their talents. Joey does photography, so maybe you want to have him over for photography. You need to give him an ohm buck. But the problem is you don't have one, right? You didn't participate this first time around. So what do? Are you out of luck? Absolutely not. What you have to do is somehow convince one of these occupiers that has an ohm buck that, they should give you one based on the service you provide. So maybe what you say is, hey guys, I'm gonna cook lunch for people. Come over, we're gonna have a nice chili cook-off, and you get 10 occupiers over with 10 ohm bucks. Boom! Now you have 10 ohm bucks that you can use on these different services. So this is just an example, right? The idea is that we have an event, we get 100 ohm bucks in circulation based on people providing 100 different services, and then we just let it go from there. I think with this model, what we're doing is we're decentralizing our money. We're taking away, and we still may need a central fund for the things I mentioned, like spending stuff on flyers and whatnot. But by creating an ohm marketplace, we're allowing people to exchange their services. And in this day and age, where many of us are unemployed or underemployed or whatever you want to call it, we're sitting around with all this time in our hands, and we have many creative talents, right? I think a lot, and I'm shivering out here, so that's why if it sounds like I'm getting emotional, it's just the cold. A lot of us have bachelor's degrees. Some of us may even have master's degrees, or even if we don't have a degree, we've got a degree from the School of Hard Knocks, right? We're streetwise, and we can provide our services, but the current system doesn't enable that. It doesn't see a place for us. So we have to create our own system, right? Maybe it's a redundant system. Maybe in the future it won't be needed, but at the moment there is a need. Well, that's my theory. If this event happens and it's successful, then I think my theory will be affirmed, and if it's not, that's fine too. A key component of this is going to be integrity, right? That we're not trying to, for example, someone out there, gets an ohm buck from this event, and then Mary, let's say I get an ohm buck from this, and then Mary comes to me and says, "Oh, Rahul, I really want to, get Boz to fix my bike, but I need an ohm buck," and I just give it to her. If I do that, then I'm devaluing the ohm buck, right? So it's up to people who get these ohm bucks to say, no, 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 you need to provide a service, a legitimate service that people want, and then I'll give you that ohm buck, right? So we have to put our own value and integrity on this dollar. It's pretty much very true that with a fiat currency system, right, there is no backing of the current money supply. Nothing's backing it. Not gold, not silver. There's no commodity. It's basically faith. And people are losing faith in the current system, which you could say is part of the reason the dollar has declined in value. So what we're doing here locally is we're carving out our own space, we're carving out our own marketplace, and we're restoring faith in our own bucks by restoring faith in each other. So it means that, when I do dollar yoga, I'm not going to do it, oh, it's just $1, so why do I care? No, I need to show up on time, I need to be prepared, etc. Furthermore, I think that in this next event we have, if it's properly done and we're live streaming it, we all have the chance to be sponsored individually. So while none of us may be making money right there, and I don't think that's the goal of the Occupy movement, I think the goal of the Occupy movement is to end corruption in all aspects, government, private, public, what have you. But the idea being that if we're broke and we're poor, we're much more easily corruptible. I know I am. I know if I have rent money coming up, or the end of the month's coming up, I have to pay rent, and I don't see how I'm going to make that money, then I may be susceptible to lie, cheat, and steal just to make rent, just to pay the mortgage. If anyone's seen Thank You for Not Smoking, that's kind of the idea in that movie. So by being less broke, we're less susceptible to corruption. And I think my idea is that if we're streaming this next event live, then it's up to us individually to seek out sponsors. So if I know a local business, Mario's Laundromat, hey, I'm going to show up with a t-shirt that says go to Mario's Laundromat. And if Mario wants to pay me $5, $10, whatever, $100 to wear this t-shirt doing an Occupy event, that's up to Mario, that's up to me. Now, if people don't like what my t-shirt says, I think they're going to let me know. And, that sort of sponsorship won't work. So that's just an idea that I'm throwing out there for people on I think how we can create an own marketplace, how we can start supporting each other in a meaningful way, and see what happens. If Occupy McAllen, if we choose not to do this, that's okay. I see it happening in other arenas anyways. I don't think it can be stopped, but I do think that Occupy McAllen is the perfect opportunity to implement this, and then no one is controlling the money. Like, no one centrally. We still may have a treasury, in that case we're still going to probably have democratic decisions to decide how that money is spent, but it'll significantly reduce the amount of money we need. If we can pull off a very cool event, we stream it, we do it right, it's organized, and we can do this for $100, then we are giving a gift to the valley, a gift to the world, really, on what can be done on the strength of $1. And I think that's all I've got for now. So enjoy your Monday, folks. It is a chilly one. Enjoy your week. And that's it. This is Rahul Varshney signing off with a love revolution. Much love to Occupy McAllen. Much love to my Tea Partiers. Much love to all the people out there who have no idea what any of this is about. Keep watching. If you made it this far, then you've done a good job. All right. Peace out, guys.